Welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and welcome back to the league that means absolutely nothing, season 3. Here we are in round 4. And speaking of who we are Go Again Gaming, and we are, me personally, Ian Holland, your voice of the league. We are in the 3-0 bracket today, and we have Ireland's favourite Ira, Jamie McCabe, taking on Jay, whose name I have mispronounced before and will not try to fail again. So we have Ira taking on Jay on his signature Vynsett Iron Maiden. This could be a very interesting one. Jamie has all the tools to wear Jay down and just grind out infinite value, whereas Jay has the ability to set up very explosive turns. The other thing is Ira obviously got a huge boost from the Hunted, so much so that it immediately saw a ban. So we'll see if any of those cards make their way into Jamie's list. Obviously, Jay also got Culls from the Hunted. We'll see if they show up. We'll see if they do anything at all. Only one way to find out, and that's for me to throw it over to the gameplay.
The league that means nothing is brought to you in part by the Sigillit Games. Go and check them out on Etsy. This is one of the altars that you can come to expect from the Sigillit Games. Shiny foil treatment to the back of Flesh and Blood cards to really spice up your battlefield. Make sure you go and check them out when you can and use the code GAG4ALTS to get 10% off your order. Cheers, Toby. Let's get back to the tournament.
Okay, I'm going to go out on the limb and say Jay won the die roll here because he is elected to go first, which is exactly what Vynsett wants to do because it allows you to set up your initial rune chant, get a banish, block with some cards, and follow up with something in the next turn, set up one of your rune chant generators if possible. So Jay starting off with a banish of a widespread, Ruin, which is banished from the top of the deck if damage is dealt, and a Funeral Moon. So we're starting off pretty strong. 2 rune chants, got an arsenal, 1 bit of blood debt, and no filter available for Jamie, who is obviously playing those Tide Flippers as a little bit of an announcement that, I might have to prevent some arcane damage this turn. Jamie coming in here with an Light Strike. No typical Kodachi from Ira, but this could be a 5, it could be a 7. Yeah, 5 go again. So we're probably going to follow this up with a 0 for 4 or a 1 for 5. Maybe one of the many 2 for 6s. Yeah, it is an Erase Face coming in for 7. Very efficient turn. That's what Ira's all about. Super efficient turn cycles. And Erase Face for 7 will say that Jay's cards lose all class and talent types until end of turn. Doesn't really affect him to the best of my knowledge. Shouldn't anyway. But yeah, thinking about the blocks here, shouldn't affect anything because of how the cards are set up. But yeah, we're going to block 7, cover the Erase Face. Better to keep the 7 life, especially in a game against Ira, who loves to grind out value. Obviously, we got no blocks declared on that Enlightened Strike because it's just 5. You never really considered to block the first swing. Jay banishing a Phantom Wraith here, taking up Tunic. 1 card in hand, 1 card in arsenal. Both of the rune gating cards are currently available. So it looks like we're going to send the big one. So 3 Arcane and 7 Phantom Banshee. Jamie immediately pitching a nasty surprise. Covering up with a Take the Tempo and a Fate Foreseen. Those Fate Foreseens may someday get replaced with Shelter from the Storms. If anyone hasn't checked out the card list from the Hunted, those cards are nuts. Just very, very expensive. Oh, Jamie flashing the Lovely rainbow foil extended art Japanese Ira. And see if Jay has any follow up here. Nope, just taking a blood debt, taking an intellect penalty, and moving. Jamie probably just going to be a tick up tunic and pass situation here. Maybe throw a 0 for 4. Or Kodachi. Yeah. Looks like we've got Arsenal pass. Jay banishing a Deathly Delight. Getting a rune chant. Getting to keep a full hand here. Pretty good. Exactly where you want to be at with Vynsett. It allows you to have so many options. And things like Deadwood Dirge. You pop your rune chant and it is 3 rune chants in a trench coat. Pretty good stuff. Love how all of these Runeblade cards, so many of them that involve rune chants and arcane damage, all seem to have musical references. So we're going to come in for 3 and 6 overpower go again, thanks to the machinations of domination. Domination. So 3 arcane and 6 overpower. So 3 is prevented. Ira having a wealth of blues for this. And we've got 3 block here, and overpower does not prevent the use of any reactions. So if Jamie has any, let's find out. So Jamie just taking the 3, going to banish the top card, but that's when the combat chain closes, Jamie, that's not an on-hit. Jay thought about it, looked like flashing out a succumb to temptation and chose not to. I wonder why. Yeah, and just swinging the Flail of Agony, which is getting blocked by that 1 block on the breaking scales. With the presentation of the breaking scales, you can kind of tell that Jamie is not on any of the dagger pickup cards, and this may have been recorded before the world premiere, because otherwise, why would you not be running Flick Knives? The card's insane. Just the inevitability Flick Knives provides the deck and the ability to extend Mask of Momentum chains. So we're going to lead with a Bittering Thorns from the Tolarian Community College box set, I believe. Red Bittering Thorns, 1 for 4. Huge upgrade to Ninja because it is Iris text on a card. So if it hits, your next attack gets +1. Allows you to do some pretty interesting lines like Kodachi for 1, Bittering Thorns for 5 into another attack. But it looks like Jamie is just planning on using a +2 buff on. Oh no, even worse. Jamie's planning on using a Warmonger's Diplomacy. Warmongers famously very strong against Runeblades to a degree. Doesn't really affect Florian because he plays it himself and he has a lot of off turns and generally only attacks. Doesn't really affect Aurora because she plays so many instants. Used to be a nightmare for Viserai, and he's now managed to play around it pretty effectively. But let's see what it does to Vynsett. Both players have elected to choose War. So Jay is going to be at least taking 1 blood debt this turn. Regardless. So we're going to banish an Envelope in Darkness, generate a rune chant. Pitching what look like 2 non-attack actions to send in a Deathly Wail for 1 and 4. Definitely not where you want to be with this Vynsett deck. So many options here for Jay to have presented damage. May have been worth throwing out that Succumb to Temptation the last turn. Who knows? Maybe that's another one. That's what's in Arsenal. Jamie really thinking about this 1 arcane. Yeah, we're pitching a Are we? No. We are. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, so we're pitching for the arcane, and then we are fate foreseeing the 4 damage. Keeping the card on top. Obviously likes what he sees. And Jay takes a point of blood debt. Flash of an Enlightened Strike there in the arsenal. Yeah, here's the classic Ira opener, Kodachi for 1. So we're probably looking at Kodachi, Enlightened Strike. Yeah, so we're Kodachi. I wonder when Jay is considering using the Face Purgatory. Such a powerful piece of equipment. Pretty good when your opponent's on 1 card. You know it can't be one of the 2 for 6s. If it lands, but you don't want to be overblocking a Kodachi by that much. Instead, we're just going to block 2 using a yellow Mavrian Skies. And Jamie going to send in this Enlightened Strike, probably for 7 because. Oh, no, drawing a card. Doesn't even look at it. Now looks at it. Jay blocking here with a Phantom Wraith, taking 2 points down to 23. Generally speaking, you don't. The draw in Ira is usually not where you want to be at because the deck plays a lot of very mediocre blues that you are very happy to pitch and block with and really not happy to attack with. So we're going to send in here playing a Malefic, attacking with this widespread destruction. So we are generating a rune chant on the back end from the Malefic incantation, which is such a powerful boost to this deck and to Viserai especially. But Jamie is going to cover up the 3 rune chants here, block 2, which means there's a reaction coming, and a flick flack. So blocking 6 total on this widespread. Jay ends the turn with a rune chant, has not managed to set up one of those double rune gate turns or anything crazy just yet. And Jamie has just been very efficiently grinding away at the life total of Jay. And pitching a blue for Kodachi for 1. Kodachi for 2. Jay having to think about this one because obviously blocking this breaks the Mask of Momentum chain. Takes the 2 instead, goes to 19, wants to hold onto these cards, and Jamie finishing up with a Mauling Chi for 5 on hit draw card. Man got blessed with that draw because that could have very easily been like a Fine Center, something crap. But it's fully blocked, keeping Ira off Arsenal pretty effective. It's kind of where you want to be at. It's part of the game. Jay going to play Beseech the Demagon, finally getting some shadow non-attack actions here and attacking now with this Deathly Delight. Having paid a life, the first rune chant is unpreventable, so Jamie is going to take 1 and just takes the other, because if you can't prevent the first one, there's no point in preventing the second one. And now this Deathly Delight is coming in for 8. On the close of the combat chain, Jay is going to gain 2 life and obviously generates that rune chant as well from Malefic Incantation. Yeah, Jamie just electing to take the whole kit and caboodle of the damage here. Send me the bill. You may gain your 2 life and then lose 1 from blood debt. Tunic ticks up for Ira, who has kept full hand here, and we're leading with spinning wheel kick. Leg tap with extra text. Jay taking 4 into spinning wheel kick. So this gets +1 from the combo on spinning wheel kick and +1 from Ira. So it's going to be coming in for 6, and that sounds to me like a prime candidate for the use of Face Purgatory. We rip the last card out of Jamie's hand and prevent 6 damage. Now, this could also all be bait. Jamie could be holding, again, some blue that he just doesn't want. Are you willing to take that chance? Give him an arsenal? Or have another attack come at you? Well, we got the big things coming in, and Jay's just taking the damage here. Goes to the bottom of the deck immediately. It'd be very useful if we ever got to second cycle. And here's a sensor. Should have just gone for it, Jay. Telling you. So we're just going to play a red Malefic and attack with this Eloquent Eulogy that was in our banish zone, having banished another Malefic for the Vynsett trigger. So this is going to come in for 2 Arcane and 4 on hit. Obviously, you make an Eloquence token and we'll generate another Rune Chant on the back. Jamie having a bit of a think here. But with Jay at 9, I think you want to try and hold on to as much of your hand as possible and just pressure. Yeah. Jamie pitching for the rune chance using the tunic, and then we're going to sink below here, cover the damage. No eloquence token developed. Playing very smart here from Jamie McCabe, just deciding I am in control of the game. Let's not take any chances that put me out of that position. Here we go, Kodachi for 1. Starting to think that the reason that Jay didn't block with Face Purgatory the previous turn might have been a lack of attacks in his deck. And then Erase Face for 7. Again, good time to try and get some value off that Face Purgatory. You're not ripping a card, so you're like down 3 points of value off against Jamie, but you are also buying yourself back a card, which can be pretty helpful. What is that? Just a full block here. Must have been a bunch of 2 blocks. That is. Well, that ain't good. That's a rough one. Yeah. Jay just passing and drawing up. And here we go again. Kodachi time. If it ain't broke, don't fix. And now we have give and take. So if it's defended by an action card, you may put an action card with cost less than give and take's power from your graveyard on top of your deck. So if it is less than 3, which is, funnily enough, every action card that Jamie plays in the deck, unless he has somehow put a Wounded Bull in his deck. So Jay blocking 3 here. What is Jamie going to pop on top of his deck? Oh, that was for 4 as well. Of course, Ira's text. Yeah, we're putting a Bittering Thorns on top, making sure we have a nice aggressive push next turn. Follow up Kadachi for 1. 2 cards left. And it's going to be Find Center. Offering up a 2 power attack on hit. Draw a card from Mask of Momentum, but also Breaking Scales just sitting there if Jamie wants to put that Bittering Thorns in Arsenal. Jay just giving up the extra point, not going to be got by a Breaking Scales activation anytime soon. Go to banish a Widespread Destruction. Use Tunic, make a resource. Play Envelope in Darkness, trigger, make a rune chant. Are we paying a life to Vynsett? We are getting +3 on our next rune gate, and we have 3 rune chants, so we are going to be able to rune gate out this Widespread Destruction. But 12 damage when your opponent is at 27 and you are at 5, they might just ignore you. Yeah, so here we go. We paid a life to Vynsett as well to make sure that this trigger resolves. That arsenal that Jamie has is going to get banished if it is not a defense reaction. So Jamie's just taking the 4 rune chance here and blocking Mask of Momentum. Always a good time to block with Mask of Momentum when your opponent would die if they were hit 4 times, and then a Flick Flack from Arsenal. So covering up 4 of the 9 damage coming from this Widespread Destruction, taking 5, and no Arsenal to banish. Coming into our Tunic turn, everything going very well for Jamie right now. And the Kodachi lock represents lethal very quickly over a handful of turns. Jamie doesn't really need to do anything else. So here we have Tunic, Bittering Thorns to hold a couple extra cards, limit the value of that Face Purgatory. So we've got 4 block, Tunic, and Succumb to Temptation. Kodachi for 2. Pitching that gorgeous Singapore Sigil of Solace, the Merline. Blocking 2, yeah, Revel and Rueblood. We're never going to hold enough cards for that to be a card we want to consider playing. And then pitch a Command and Conquer for Kodachi for 1, taking 1, and arsenaling our last card. It is all just grinding out value here, despite a severe lack of blues that turn from Jamie. Draws up to 4. Jay banishing a Deathly Whale, cracking Vexing Quillhand to go up to 4 rune chance and sending in 4 arcane and 6 damage, creating a rune chant on the back end. And if Jamie happens to take a point of damage here, we'll create a second. So that rune chant has been taken. We're going to block 3 of the 6 of this Deathly Whale. Or it must have been a yellow one. And Jay arsenaling 2 rune chance, drawing 4. And here we go. Kodachi for 1. 2 floating. And the old Razor Reflex, baby. Got him. Jamie McCabe with the WTR staples. Welcome to Wraith says, here's my Razor Reflex. Good luck and good night. Tough break, Jay. Extremely well played there, Jamie. Moving to 4-0. Pretty much top of the bracket in the league. That means absolutely nothing. Not too bad. Not too bad. Jay at 3-1, probably still a very good chance of making the top 8 where the single elimination rounds. So all bets are off, you know. The only important game is the next one. Congratulations, both players. Really well played. Nice, snappy, quick game. 2 people who know their decks backwards, inside, and out, able to make their game actions pretty quickly. And that's all we have time for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please make sure you like the video, you subscribe to Go Again Gaming for even more coverage of the league. That means absolutely nothing. Season 3 and beyond, if indeed we do go beyond this. And make sure you comment down below. Tell us who you're rooting for in the top 8, because I know, unbiasedly, I will be rooting for my own countryman, Jamie McCabe, to take down the whole damn thing. But I've been your voice of the league, Ian Holland. If you wish to find me, you can find me on Twitter at finals_spirit, or more commonly on Blue Sky at finalspirit.bsky.social, where I am always talking flesh and blood or whatever other hobbies that are taking my interest, whether that's video gaming or the gym or anything like that. But, you know, pop along, say hi, drop a follow, whatever you want to do. And I think that's everything for today. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.